Kiya Wanji, hello and welcome to the Kiya Podcast show. I'm your host, Izzy. Unfortunately, Sun is committed to Freo stuff, which is why he can't be here today. We definitely miss him here. I'd like to give a shout out to Totem Clothing, which is our brand sponsor. So everything that you see from the hat, the shirt to the shorts is sponsored by Totem. So big shout out to them. I'd also like to give a shout out to Marcus, who provides the studio in which we're using today. Is very special. I'd also like to acknowledge the Noongar Whadjuk people. This is the land of which we are recording on today, and I pay my respects to the ancestors, both past, present, and emerging. Now, time for our intro. I have a very special guest on this podcast here today. You know I've had to do it. I had to do it. I set this up. So this guest was on my list since day one. She's someone who I've always wanted to get on the podcast, so I'm very lucky to have her here. She is a WNBL champion, WNBL champion, NBL1 West champion, soon to be international player. Please welcome Neseya Parker-Williams. Hello, Neseya.
Hello.
How was that intro?
That was dirty.
That was pretty freaking. That was dirty. I was thinking about it like the whole time. How can I make this as dirty as possible?
No, that was actually really good.
And I was like, yeah, Chris Brown instrumental is the way to go. Oh, that was Chris. What's been going on, Dad?
Nothing much. Just really working basketball.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Now, you're someone who honestly is a huge inspiration. Not just the stuff that you do, on the basketball court, but you work a lot in community and stuff as well. So you're at schools. How did you kind of manage that? Like, were you someone that was always brought up around your culture, or did you learn that at an older age?
I think it was a bit of both. I used to do dancing with Mum. She's the reason why I got into dancing. Just watching her when I was little, dance at the Wurundjeri Festival. I've done that a couple of times when I was little. So just watching her do that, brought me a lot closer to it.
Oh, wicked. So I wanted to start off with a cultural question, because it's something that's kind of not really touched on a lot, especially in the basketball world. Like, yeah, we've got like First Nations around and stuff like that, but we have some pretty wicked, not only like Indigenous players, but players that are so in tune with their culture that doesn't really get as recognized as it does so much in football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to start off with something like that, but thought it would be crepes. Anyways, going into basketball and stuff like that, how did you end up starting to play basketball? Like, what got you into it?
So a couple of my friends played at Vic Park domestic, so I was like, I'll just give it a try. Never was into basketball as much. Started there, played it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, I think I could play wobble and just try it out, see how it is. I played it on 12s, and then I was like, Mum, nah, I don't like this. I don't want to play. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to play this. Didn't play for a year, but I was playing domestic, enjoyed that more, and then I was like, oh, I could be, really good at this. Got more serious when I was in under 16s, and then from there it's just progressed.
Yeah. So you kind of needed that little time off to kind of be like, all right, no, I actually do like this, and try and figure it out. Because I think a lot of parents be like I was having this conversation the other day with their kid, and whether it can go two ways, whether they want the kid will be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore just because it's getting difficult. So the kid will pull them straight out and then never go back to it again. Or there's the other one where the parents are maybe a little bit too pushy. So did you kind of have that balance, or?
Mum was actually pretty easy. She was happy with whatever we do. Still today, she's happy whatever we do. But I have a big sporting family.
Huge sporting family. I'm glad you touched on it before I did.
Yeah, so sports is really all we kind of knew. But yes, playing with all the cousins, competitive. So just has that competitive attitude towards everything. So yeah,
so,
you know how it is.
So obviously Maddie being former St Kilda player, former Richmond player, now at South Freo. Was there any urge for you to play football? Was there any? Did he ever be like, sis, come on, come dominate in footy, or has he always just been supportive of basketball?
I think he's just been supportive of basketball. Football has been a little bit of talk about it. I know that.
Can you even kick a footy or not? I've never actually seen you kick a footy before.
This guy.
Can you or not?
this
Nah,
day-
I'm genuinely.
I mean, I can, but sometimes it goes one way or the other way. So
So you can kick it. It just
I can kick it.
It just I don't know where it's gonna go, but
yeah. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just kicked it with family. You know, king of the pack. That's all I kind of knew. But I think I've been more scared to play football. Just all the injuries I hear, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport. So now you're, obviously part of our Binner family. One of the original members of Binner. And for myself, you was kind of, I think it was you and Spencer was like the first two to really like play at like at a high level. And I remember, when did you go to the Lynx? How old were you when you signed with Lynx?
I think I was 16, turning 17.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a funny thing about that, I never knew about the Lynx or like the WNBL until I was into the league, and that's where I got like more knowledge about it. But yeah, it was a crazy time when I got in at that young age. Like, there was so much that was happening, but it was really fun. Like, I don't take it for granted.
Yeah. So did you kind of realize like where you were at the time, or was it kind of just all like surreal?
It was surreal. Like, I just couldn't believe it. But now looking back at it, I was like, damn, I was like 16, 17.
Damn, I was hurt.
Training,
Yeah.
like,
Okay, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like with WNBA players, and like it was just crazy. It was a lot to take in, but I didn't realize it. But
So
yeah,
was you
forever grateful for
So
it.
you was playing for Lynx and going to high school at the same time, or
Yeah.
how did that work? Like,
It was
does
tough.
it clash or?
It clashed so much. So I think I was only going to class for like maybe half an hour, then bang, straight to training.
That's so cool.
And then it was cool, but it wasn't. It was like the longest day ever, and I had to do that like weekly. It was hard, like keeping up with all schoolwork and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's something that's not really talked about. Like you see a lot of kids, and even myself, that like see that from the outside and think like, oh, how cool it is, and yeah, if I had that, I'll do this. But it's like actually really tough work.
Yeah.
Like, especially, and like you said, I didn't even think about how you would be able to juggle schoolwork and graduating on top of all that stuff. That's mad.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was so hard. I couldn't believe that I did it.
Yeah.
But I had a great support system that helped me. Mom helped me a lot. My family helped me a lot. And the teachers there, they helped as well.
So as someone who's now in that, leadership sort of role, and you're a very great leader in what you do, not only on the court, like I've seen you communicate on the court, but even the workshops that you do in schools, you're a great communicator. Did you have those good leaders when you were 16, 17, coming into the league, or even when you was in Townsville, playing for Townsville Fire? Who was kind of the leaders that got around you, and what were some things that they communicated?
Yeah, so when I first was with Lynx, it was kind of tough because I had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Like, no idea. I was like, what do I even do here? It was this crazy experience. But as I got into the second and like third year of it, it made a lot more sense, and those people that helped me. I had Maddie Allen there. She helped me as well. Izzy Miotti, she was there. Trying to think who else. Had Ariel Atkins, she's a WNBA player. She's actually Darty.
That would have been cool.
One of my best mates, Jewel Williams, was there as well. So it was kind of cool to have like people that I grew up with there as well. In Townsville, all the girls were like, they were amazing. Like, you had Steph Reed, had Tiana Hawkins. She was best. So many like great leaders that they just helped me.
So they just created that professional environment for you to be able to thrive in. How did you manage like living away from home, like being in Townsville? Obviously other side of the country compared to Perth. How did you manage that? Like, are you cool with being on your own? Like, me personally, I like being on my own because then it's kind of, you can focus, but then you have your downtimes, but you make new friends and that sort of stuff. Like, were you kind of like that, or was it like, nah, I want to go home. Like I'm sick of being here now.
It was a bit of both.
I guess a championship helps. Like being in a successful team that helps. Like.
It was worth it. Let's just put it there. But
nothing worse than being away from home and fucking losing. Like.
Facts, no. But nah, it was. I thought it'd be really good for me to grow like independently. I always knew that my family was gonna be there.
Yeah.
But I think I'm out of that stage where I'm ready to just go and find my own way.
If you are liking this episode of the Kiya Podcast, then you'll love our brand sponsor, Totem Clothing. Totem Clothing is a First Nations owned, designed, embroidered and hand-printed premium clothing brand with culture and spirit. Totem Clothing was born right here on Whadjuk country and is uniquely First Nations owned. Their vision is to live your culture, whatever that is, no matter where you are from, creating a solid connection to our culture while embracing and sharing in that culture of others is good, not just for our people, but for all people. It's all about sharing the journey. So make sure you go ahead, like, follow, and buy your merch from Totem Clothing Australia, proud sponsors of the Kiya Podcast. So when you went into the league, what's something that you kind of wish you had or something you didn't have that maybe, you know, people going into the league now or going into similar circumstances could benefit from?
Probably a mentor or someone like Indigenous wise and I guess teams. I think that would be really helpful.
Yeah. Well, you kind of see it like in that, like, you know, not to go into it again, but you kind of see it in the AFL world where like if someone young, Indigenous, you know, kind of goes into a team, they're kind of paired up with the older like leadership type guy, whether it's someone who's Indigenous or not, but they kind of, most of the time it is someone who's Indigenous, so they have that cultural connection.
Yeah. You definitely see it more in AFL than you do in basketball. Yeah. So I think that's something that I kind of want to be, because I said it before that, you know, when you see a black fella, you see yourself. So I want to kind of be that person, especially for the younger generation that's coming through the basketball world. Yeah, because I feel like, you know, once you have that mentor, I feel like that would help you a lot. Yeah. And that's something that I didn't have.
Or even like to talk about things that you can't necessarily talk about, you know, with your coach or something like that. Like something where it's like, oh, you know, these players are really messing with me. I don't get what I'm doing, but that's something you can't really talk about with your coach. Or I've got X, Y, and Z going on outside of training with home, with family, with culture. And that's something you can't really talk about with the leadership group type thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's something that's huge. That's not really present in basketball, but maybe that's also because there's not a lot of Indigenous like representation in basketball. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel like it's more so in the AFL side, but I feel like there's a lot of support behind the AFL side. Yeah. I feel like with basketball, there's a little bit, but there could be way more.
Yeah, like it's growing. Like I see what they're doing. Like even at the you know, we was at the WNBL Perth Lynx versus Sydney Flames. Yeah. On the weekend, and they did a great job at not only engaging, you know, Bina as a Noongar community, you know, with heaps of Indigenous representation, have them do the halftime, invite them kids along, Nana Robin and Trice do the welcome to country and Didge. Like they do a really good job at that, but like there's so many Indigenous girls that can play at that level that, you know, maybe they turned away because they didn't get that support in their wobble or in their NBL1 West. Maybe it's because, you know, whether it's family connections or whatever, like you said, there's that support that goes along with it in basketball that we just don't have. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I feel like there should be more of. But, you know, it's got to grow little by little. So, yeah.
And the only way we're going to do that is, for one, people like yourself who are at that level or played at that level or have experience coaching at that level to be able to give back to not only the young generation of players, but the mids as well, like the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds who are at that point in their life where it was like, do I stick with, you know, this game that I love? Yeah. But I'm just not feeling like it loves me back, or do I just give up, or do I just go and play footy or something, you know, and that's something like it irks me.
That's a tough conversation because I see a lot of the younger generation like so deadly in basketball, they just don't get the opportunity or they don't get looked at, and then they're just like falling out of love with it, and then they just go play footy, which is not a bad thing at all. Like 100% support.
Look at Arthur Jones, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
he's someone that I bring up all the time. So talented in basketball.
Yeah.
Had the choice of like, all right, do I stick with basketball or do I play footy? And then was like, you know what, I'm not getting any love in basketball. I'm gonna go play footy. And now look, Western Bulldogs
Exactly.
is going into as one of the leaders there. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Just need that support. I think, and I feel like it'd go a long way.
Yeah, yep, for sure. What's some of your, so this is kind of different. I know I'm kind of going on again.
Right.
But what's some advice that you would give to not only players in the WNBL, but players in the NBL as well who are Indigenous, who maybe want to get involved with cultural things, or some advice you would give to them if they were to go to another city and, you know, want to be involved or something like that in the cultural aspect?
I've been told this like literally my whole life. Don't be afraid to ask questions or anything. I feel like it's always great seeing another Indigenous player that's not from, you know, the same area but from a different learning it. And I feel like it's really helpful, and I feel like we could learn a lot more and just like, you know, grow together.
So it was kind of cool, like you talked about being 16, 17, like as your first signing, and then kind of learning off that, you know, to pretty much go play for Townsville, and then now you're learning off that, like since playing for Townsville, WNBL championship, then you go and play for Rockingham, another chance. So you basically winning championships like everywhere you go, hey?
Basically, you can
so
say
it must
that.
be like a common factor or something like.
Basically.
Yeah, but like how, even though yes, they've been successful years, shut up. Even though yes, they've been like successful years, the stuff that you've learnt, you've been able to carry on into the next year and into the next year, and that's something like not a lot of people can do. Like they kind of will learn something and be like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then once that year's over, just be like completely forget it and then move on. And yeah, so that's really cool. Who inspires you the most? Like what's kind of that gets you to keep going on the court, that kind of, you know, keeps you focused? Like who would say is your inspiration?
Ooh. I feel like I would say my family, mostly my mom though. I think she has that like strong mindset, and I think that's like within me just to keep going and just to like keep it happening. And I think it's kind of myself as well. Like I want to be someone, not be someone, but like, you know, make my family proud and all that.
Well, I feel like, what do you mean when you say like be someone? Because I feel like you are someone. Like you're someone who like honestly, when I started the podcast, you was one of the first names that I put. I've got it on my phone. Like you was one of the first names that I put on there, because it was like, this podcast is about, you know, interviewing great people that do great shit, like in a nutshell. And you've always kind of been like that really cool leader, even though I don't say it to your face every day, but you've always been that like really cool leader, who, you know, you hold yourself to a high standard. You're obviously a baller, but you know, you already are that someone. So when you talk about, oh, I want to be someone, like you are someone, bro. Like you gotta, don't cry, but you gotta.
I'm not crying.
But yeah, you gotta recognize that, like when you are doing cool shit, you know what I mean?
No, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I just don't like. I'm a very humble person, so I don't like. I don't know, walk around like I'm this and that. I like have it at the back of my mind that I'm, you know, like I am someone, but it's not like a. Yeah.
But it's not something you would say like externally, like
I'm not like that.
Yeah. Have you ever, like, it's hard too when you see someone who is successful that is like that, and then it's kind of like awkward. It makes you feel so awkward.
Yeah, it does. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Surely
like,
not.
Who you try to be? Like,
Yeah.
there was me and Sonny was some. I can't say where we were, but we were somewhere and we saw some people, and then we was just like, who do these people think they are? Like, why? They're just normal people. Be normal people. Like.
Well, yeah, that's exactly how I see it. Like, I know I've been like the highest league, but I feel like I'm just a normal person.
Yeah. Well, that's like a testament to the goals that you set for yourself. Because are you someone that always sets goals, or do you just go like day by day?
Day by day, but I feel like I'm trying to get goals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't kick, so I don't know how you're gonna kick goals. Nah, I'm playing. All right, so we have a part of the show where we have Kiya questions. So we have 10 questions that we put together. I'm gonna ask you the 10 questions first. So we need quick answers in the sale. All right, no. All right, you can dabble a little bit if it's a big question, but we need quick answers. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. So 10 Kiya questions. I gotta bring the music back, right? All right, favorite pre-game song?
The Flawless remix by Beyonce and Nicki Minaj.
Really?
That song just makes me like, I'm that good.
That's your pre-game?
Yeah. I have to listen to it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I like
I actually have a whole playlist of like
I like Formation.
Formation.
Yeah. Why is that?
No,
Anyway, favorite podcast? Because I know you're someone who you like listening on podcasts and streams and stuff like that. Other than the Kiya podcast,
yeah,
obviously.
I was about to say I didn't want to.
Like, obviously Kaya's the favorite, but like, all right, who's your second favorite?
I'll say Shits and Gigs.
Shits and Gigs.
Yeah.
Very good. They're coming up third. So if we get them on the Kiya podcast, just know
I'm there.
you're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
One guest you want to see on the Kiya podcast?
Like anyone?
Anyone. Who's someone that you would want to see come on the Kiya podcast show?
Damn.
We'll come back to it.
Come back to that. I don't really know.
So have a think. If your teammates would describe you in one word, what word would that be?
I don't know. I feel like it's a quiet one.
Quiet
We can say
the
silent.
quiet one?
The quiet one. No, we can say silent assassin.
Silent assassin. That's
go.
2 words. Favorite
Well.
basketball. Favorite basketball movie.
Has to be Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball is the favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, Quincy's a dog. Anyway.
Either that or no, Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yeah, with Michael Jordan.
Really?
Yes.
That's better than Like Mike.
Damn, all 3 of them.
Player you learnt the most from.
That's so hard. I feel like I've learned from a lot of players. I think I just take a lot of advice from them.
Yeah.
Especially those that are like higher than me and played in higher leagues.
Who's someone that you modelled your game after?
Like any player?
Any player.
I feel like, I don't know. Some of the been up, like, boys have said KD. They call me baby KD. So
yeah,
I'm like,
KD. Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper. You
Slim Reaper.
You already know.
So you'd say that? You go with that? So you have to start one, bench one, and cut one. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and yourself.
Oh, starting me. Benching
Talk your
Caitlin
shit.
Clark and cutting Angel Reese.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Okay, good. I knew you were gonna say that. Best shoes to play in.
Oh, so I just recently played in the GT cuts. The Devin Booker inspired ones.
Yeah, they're good.
And they're really good.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Me and Kiya have the same pair.
Oh, that's cute.
It's starting.
That's cute. One guest you want to see on the Kiya podcast.
Ooh. Damn, I really don't know.
You really don't know?
Could I say like no, but
You can say anyone. You could say Barack. You could say Barack Obama. You could say Shits and Gigs.
I would
You
say
could
that.
say Buddy Franklin. You could say Michael
Oh,
Walters. No,
nah,
we'll go to
sorry.
Sonny.
Sorry, Sonny. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say football player. I'm gonna say Dustin Martin.
Dusty. That would be a wicked
Dusty,
interview. I'd
yeah.
love to interview Dusty. That would be cool. Great.
Sorry, Uncle Sonny.
Sorry, Uncle Sonny. I'm sure he would love to interview Dusty too.
What's your go-to morning ritual?
Coffee.
Coffee.
So I let my dog wakes me up. As soon as my dog wakes me up, let him outside and make a coffee. I gotta have a coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
Any historical figure?
We just we both did the same thing.
Michael Jackson.
Bro, I literally was.
That'll be
Yes.
that'll be awesome.
Yes.
Like I would like to be older, but yeah, that'll be awesome.
That's crazy.
What? Like just for my own
Okay.
comfortability, like.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
yeah, that'll be cool.
What's one thing you've learned recently?
How to kind of just relax with things, how to like be present, and trust that not everything is going to be good, not everything is going to be bad, but just, you know, go about your business day by day. Yeah. Okay, chat.
Okay, chat. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
Basketball. Like, yeah. I don't know if you can actually master basketball because the game's like always singing. Let's just go singing. I would
Singing?
love to be able to sing, bro. Like, that would be so cool.
No, that would be. You asked me this question.
What?
But what's your favorite podcast now?
Kiya Podcast, man. You gotta go with Kiya. Well, it was Chunks in Philly, but
Oh yeah.
I
wasn't gonna mention it.
So I'll wait a month before I answer that question again, cause I don't know what to believe, bro. But yeah, I'll wait a month before I answer that. But I like Andy Schultz and Charlemagne the God, Brilliant Idiots. I like the way they're able to not only talk about political stuff, have fun with stuff, promote their own stuff, but then also how they're able to have like fun, but also have those important questions and topics and break it down for, you know, brilliant idiots like myself. What is true?
No, I'm making up. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Chewing. I hate the sound of chewing, bro.
That.
Like chewing,
Yeah.
like seeing people chew, like with their mouth open, or just hearing, even the, you know, when ASMR videos come up and you go,
Oh my.
I hate it,
it
bro.
as well.
Oh, I just want to punch them.
What's the dream of yours you've yet to achieve?
Well, I'd love a dream of mine I'd yet to achieve. I want probably a dream of mine I want to achieve is Kiya Podcast to be the number one podcast in Australia. Like not just not just labeled as an Indigenous podcast, because even though we are Indigenous owned, like me and Sunny have talked about this plenty of times. Like we have fun doing it. We break down barriers, but we're also changing narratives of Indigenous people. I think that's something that's huge. I think that's something that's gonna blow up, and I'd love to, you know, see this at its highest form.
Sure. I feel like that would happen.
Okay.
I have faith. I have faith. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Other than here, or like, I mean, I love it here, but like, I would love to go back and live in New York again. Like, that city is beautiful. Beautiful people, beautiful culture. Like, even like, yeah, it's just an awesome city to live in.
Good. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice: the sun is coming up tomorrow. So whether you like it or not, whether you're having a good day, whether you know all the answers, the sun's coming up tomorrow. You still gotta, you still got stuff you gotta do and goals you gotta achieve. And then on the flip side, if you're having a bad day and nothing's going right, you don't know what the hell you're doing with yourself, or even if the goals that you achieve, if it's even worth it or whatever. At the end of the day, the sun's coming up tomorrow, so it's another day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was told that by a teammate in a like pretty dark time about 5 years ago, and it's just stuck with me ever since.
That's good.
And he's a dumb teammate, so like when he told me it, I was like, damn, like you're not as dumb as what I thought you were.
It's always those
It's always the dopey ones.
Alright, what's one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
I'm pretty shy, hey. Like, I'm pretty shy and I get pretty nervous. Like, I mean, like obviously people close to me, know that, but everyone else that you know sees the podcast and you know sees what I do in public will think I'm very confident and outgoing, and it's all a front, bro. Like, I'm actually pretty shy and like not insecure, but just like self-conscious.
Yeah.
And then, but I like doing this sort of stuff. I feel like it kind of brings me out a little bit. So,
That's,
yeah.
and
That's it. Wicked. So they are 10 Kiya questions brought to you by Neseya Parker-Williams. So before, you know, obviously, we wrap up and stuff like that. I want to know what's in the work. What's some goals of yours that you want to achieve? Like, you know, not just short term, but long term stuff. Like, what's the kind of bigger picture for you?
Yeah, so with basketball, I want to play overseas in higher leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go out there just to experience everything. I want to travel. Definitely don't want to stay in Perth as long. I just want to go see the world. But yeah, I really want to hopefully soon start a like clothing brand or something.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really thought too much about it, but I think that's something that could, I don't know, help.
So what are we talking? Are we talking streetwear? Are we talking athletic wear?
Maybe more so athletic wear, but it could be both. Don't know. I haven't really like thought about it too much, cool. But I don't know, it's something.
Have you like thought of any names like NP Dub would be NP Dub?
NP Dub.
NP Dub.
Oh no, I was thinking through my middle name, but
what's your middle name?
I really like it as Tier.
Tier.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
But I don't know yet, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Does your middle name come from anyone? Like?
Yeah, actually. So I got two. So it's Carol Tier. Carol is my nan's name, but it's spelled Kharol. So the KH comes from my second oldest brother Kobe. And Tier is my Nana Carol's mum's name, which is Rita, but mixed around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Like, it's escaping me. I can't remember what you call it. Not anagram. But yeah, where it's like the same name but spelled. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Mum came up with it.
That's
so
I
cool. Just like think, you know, I'll just data unique name.
Yeah, that's so creative.
Yeah, so. That
would be a cool brand. So for anyone listening, just know you heard it here first when that brand comes out. Just would you sponsor Kiya Podcast?
I would. Don't go stealing my name though.
Nah, we're not. we're not.
I know who to come to first.
Yeah. So and then I don't know if are we allowed to talk about it? What's coming up?
Yes.
Can we talk about it because it's been announced?
Yeah.
We can say it.
I mean.
I can say it. You can say it. We can say it?
Yeah.
So next week, you're off to
Malaysia? Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, Kuala Lumpur. So you're over there playing. How long are you there for?
Just under a month. It's for a Malaysian tournament that's coming up. I don't know too much about it, but I'm just really excited for it.
Yeah.
So it's like the first overseas gig that I got. I feel like it's just a little taste of the overseas life. Which is I'm not like complaining about, like very grateful. But
you've been overseas before and stuff like that.
I went with Binar. We went to Shanghai for a little tournament, but that was really good. Then we went to Singapore, and we were like the first like team to ever win it. It was like the best.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
So so you're going over there playing for a month. You know, that's going to be really cool. Is there other countries? Do you know if there's other countries that are going to play in that tournament, or is it just a Malaysian?
I feel like it's the Malaysian team. But I feel like there's going to be like different people, different imports maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I know is me and another girl from Sydney that I know, which I'm really excited to go play over there. Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be so cool. So, you know, obviously starting a clothing brand, and stuff like that is your goals. Do you have, aspirations to play basketball at a high level? Like obviously, I don't know if NBL1 West counts as a high level for you because you're such a high achiever. Like that's, and we seen what you did last season. Like, you made it not look like not a high level because the game just comes with ease.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could go on, but do you have aspirations to play at a higher level than NBL1 West, like back in the WNBL or even Europe or something like that?
I'm also looking overseas, so I definitely want to do the EuroLeague. I think that's something that I'd be excited to do. I feel like NBL1's like I think it's a good starting point. Hopefully get back into the WNBL, but I feel like my plans for right now is overseas.
Yeah.
Just to like see the world, travel, and just go to high leagues.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be wicked. I think that you're someone that would just thrive in that environment, and then it makes coming home that little bit better. You're actually happy to come home. Like
just come home and rest. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do nothing, but just know that the work is done.
Yeah.
As someone who you're a very inspiring person. Any little girls, or not even little girls, any young Indigenous people out there that look up to you, that see your career and kind of, is like, oh, that's someone, who's a role model of mine. That's someone that I look up to and a mentor. What's some advice you would give them?
Ooh.
So what's some advice you would give, the younger generation?
Yeah. So I've actually always wanted to be like a mentor, like someone that kind of helps the younger generation to come up. That's why I love doing or working with Binner.
I was about to say you are that. You do that.
So I feel like never give up, and I feel like, just this, like your mental health matters. You matter, and take every risk, because I feel like risks are worth it. Like with me, I was so indecisive about going to Townsville. And then just one day I was like, nah, I'm going to do it. And look, ended up with a championship. But yeah, I just feel like never give up and be who you want to be.
That's wicked advice. There's so many gems. There's so many gems. There's so many gems in that. Yeah. I feel like you picked on 3 different things. And that's, that's something on this podcast that we are all about. We're all about, giving advice to younger people and also getting in people like yourself who not only have lived experiences, but also have goals and stuff that you're achieving. Like that's something, that a lot of people look at, people that achieve goals and think, oh yeah, they just, they're just going and achieving stuff like it's nothing. Like, no, you actually have to work at it. There's actually a lot of, the yin and yang that comes with achieving goals, that comes with the hard work. There's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make that no one else is going to know about except for you.
Yeah.
And, you're someone that embodies that. So on this podcast, we are all about giving flowers. And like I said to you at the start of the podcast, is you're someone who's been on the list since day dot. Even before you said, oh, I want to come on the podcast and that, I already had your name on the whiteboard. And because we're all about giving flowers, I want to give you your flowers. I don't have literal flowers, they're virtual flowers, so sorry. But I want to give you your flowers. Not only you're someone who is an incredible role model, you are so true to yourself, which is so, it's so easy to see. Anyone that either knows you or knows about you can see that you're yourself, you're authentic, you work extremely hard, you are a fucking baller, and you're a hooper. But you're someone that not only inspires the younger generation and kids like that, but you inspire the people around you to not only make better choices, but to be better people, to achieve their goals, to be on time for work, all that sort of stuff. But I want to give you your flowers, and I'm thankful that not only I can do it on the podcast, but that I can do it in general, because it's something that's not talked about a lot. Like, how often do you really go up to a friend and be like, hey, you're doing really good, and a big fan of yours and keep going. Like, it's kind of someone will be like, shut up, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're someone that I want to give flowers to. And just to let you know that, you know, thank you not only for coming in, but just to let you know to keep going, because all those dreams and stuff that you talked about, like, it's such a reality. And yeah, I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you, I appreciate
But
it.
all that stuff and all that.
Always made me tear up there a little bit.
I was trying, it didn't work. It
Nah,
didn't
it
work.
didn't.
I was trying to crack it, but it was like almost.
Nah. Nah. I can't cry on TV.
Yeah, cry on TV. But no, like I said, thank you for coming into the Kiya Podcast, Neseya. You know, for anyone that's listening, this person, she's extremely inspirational. So please go check out her IG and make sure you follow along with her career and what goes on. Because there's always big stuff coming. You always bring big stuff with you wherever you go, and we can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's